Okay, and we are back with Booster Gold number 28. Okay, I decided to keep Booster Gold on my pull list after the whole Blackest Night Time event, and I didn't want to wait for most of the trade paperbacks, so here we go. Opens up on sometime in the near future of the DC universe where there's apparently some called Project Slipshift, where they're apparently sending this agent back in time, right? And now they're about to send the agent back when all of a sudden an accident happens and we see someone sabotaging the project and a huge coronal time explosion. Then we cut to Booster fighting the Royal Flush Game. Oh yeah, that's original. And afterwards he answers some questions for the media and as part of his whole Playboy secret identity. Then he gets a call from Rip Hunter, who asks him to go off on another mission. And we get to his sister Michelle Carter, who's back at Coast City, shortly after Superman's death. And I know what you're thinking, and she thinks so after she sees a guy with a sign that says Coast City is doomed, and she realizes that soon Coast City's going to be destroyed. And then Booster goes back in time, and Rip tells him to go back and make sure that the cyborg Superman Hank Henshaw is successfully launched into space. Booster goes back and he tells Henshaw that he's going to go in and check the cockpit. Okay, so anyways, Booster goes in the cockpit. Okay, that was just a moment. Pause there for everyone to laugh at that inappropriate, immature joke. Alright. Booster goes into the control room and notices another mysterious figure who's wearing the same suit from the beginning of the book, at the beginning of the comic, and who claims that something went wrong and disappears into time. And Booster lets the shell go off. Skeets reminds him that the entire crew will be changed forever, and Booster tells Skeets, "Shut up! I already know about it. I'll need to be reminded." Meanwhile, Michelle notices the man with the sign. She goes off to see him, and then she wanders into an alley, and then someone says, "You should be careful wandering a dark alley. You'll never know who you might find." Dum dum dum. Cyborg Superman. Evil. Alright. So far, pretty much, this is a good... So, the main feature, the Booster feature, was pretty decent. It seems to be opening up to a good story, which involves one of the major events of the DC Universe. And our co-feature for the Blue Beetle, Jaime Reyes. His girlfriend Tracy, and his two friends go to the pyramid where Dan Garrett originally found the Scarab, after he had a conversation with his family and friends about how he almost went to feral mode with the Scarab. And pretty much now he goes to figure out the secrets. He finds the room where Peacemaker absorbed all the knowledge of the Scarab. And when Jaime gets near it, all these security bugs activate. Then he tries to touch about it to get the knowledge, and then all of a sudden it actually activates the Scarab's program, and now he's become taken over by the alien program, claiming he's made an agent of the Reach. Okay. Booster Gold number 28. Alright. So far, the Booster Gold series, I love it. Okay, time travel stories are probably some of my favorite, if not confusing, some of my favorite story elements. And the Blue Beetle story arc with the alien tech taking over Jaime, that seems to be the start of a good story. So both of these good stories, I'd definitely recommend picking up the book. Alright. Now for the coup de grace of the week. The one comic I was really excited about. Adventure Comics number 6. The conclusion to the Superboy Boy of Steel story arc. It opens up where we left off. Superboy being weakened by kryptonite by Lex Luthor, and revealed that... And then Luthor sees his sister, who's paralyzed, who's very sick and paralyzed, and then Superboy points out to Luthor, some genius, you can't even cure your sister. Luthor claims he can, but Superboy says, "Why don't you? Superman's off planet. Why don't you do it?" and prove to me that you can do something good. And then Lex is like, fine, I will. But you're going to help me, or I'll kill Lena. It's just kind of a dark thing to do your niece, but whatever. So Superboy pretty much says he'll help Lex cure his sister. And we get to our cover shot, which is Superboy running from a Tyrannosaurus. And Superboy says that he and Krypto need a leaf. And they got it, and they get back to the president, and Luthor makes tea. Which would make which everyone is thinking, what? WTF. That's it. And then the real adventure starts, where Superboy's checking off stuff off his list of what did Superman do. Go to Bizarro World, Bizarro DNA, visit Paradise Island, got a bone, and meanwhile at Smallville, Lena asks Luthor why did he leave, and he claims that he had to leave because he wanted to build an empire of his own and swim to Atlantis. And then he says that he doesn't want to be plagued by... He said he didn't want to be in Smallville anymore. He wanted to make an empire all his own. And then Lena says that she's glad Lex is here, and it makes Luthor feel some kind of sympathy. And Superboy returns with all the stuff, and he says... And Lex and Connor and Superboy asks him, this better not be a weapon for some or new color of kryptonite. And Lex asks, don't you trust me? And on Connor's Lex Luthor list, he says, what does Lex Luthor do? Doesn't trust anyone. So Lex makes a formula, injects it to Lena, and she can walk! Yay! And everyone's happy. And Connor even writes something good about Luthor on his list. What does Lex Luthor do? Make people walk. And then Luthor pulls out another needle and makes his sister ill once again, which is a dick move. And it puts Lex Luthor in the front runner for biggest douchebag in the DC universe. So then pretty much Connor punches Lex and throws him through the roof, and then Lex says, you're not much like Superman, are you? Connor says, well, I'm not like you either! And writes on his Lex Luthor list, what does Luthor do? Destroy his enemies. Connor's about to hit Luthor, then Brainiac grabs him and claims, interesting, you have Kal-El's eyes. Throws Connor, Krypto shows up, attacks Brainiac. Luthor's about to grab the box of kryptonite, which Lena shoots away from him with Lex's gun. Then Connor's fighting Brainiac. Brainiac fights back. Then Lex and Brainiac teleport out of there, and Connor goes back and sees Lori hugging her mom, crying, and then Connor says he feels that the worst part of it all is that Luthor actually did something good but then took it back, while he's talking with his two best friends and his girlfriend. So pretty much they're asking. And Connor says that, he'll do anything to help him. He feels like they're as much his family as Ma Kent is to his Superman half. And Cassie asks if he'll ever tell them, and he says he's not sure. And Tim says that he's using Wayne Foundation money to help Connor. And then Connor says that, I'm not like Luthor, and I don't need a journal or a lab test to tell me that. Right before he checked off one more And before burning his journal, he checked off one more thing on his Superman list. What did Superman do? Number 15. Was Superboy. And then in the epilogue, it's revealed that Luthor made another clone with of his DNA. That's half his DNA and half Brainiac's. You can see a little green hand here. And, alright. 2 words to describe this. Well, actually, 2 different phrases. Awesomely epic or epically awesome. You choose the correct phrase to use. This was a perfect end to Jeff Johns' run on Adventure Comics. I'm sad it ended, but, it's better that it did. But, alright. So, Adventure Comics, this is a good issue. Pick it up. It's awesome. So, Spider-Man 1991 saying, see ya.